Hello, friends. Cassie Kitzmiller back with you again on the Christian Women Business Builders podcast. Christian Women Business Builders exist to help you grow and build your business better with the peace and the guidance of the Lord and His Holy Spirit. And we have a special episode for you today where we're going to be digging into some of the ways that you can refresh and renew or revive, if you will, your finances for 2025. Now, at the time of recording this, we are getting ready to hit summer here in 2025, and I am a summer girl at heart. I love summer. It is my favorite time of year. We have a lot of celebrations and a lot of things that we get to enjoy over the summer. And if we're not careful, summer can also be a time where the finances can get a little bit wonky. And maybe this isn't the case for you, but depending on when you're listening to this, you may be in a position where your finances are not exactly where you want them to be in your business. And that also rolls over and relates to your family life as well. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is really taking inventory of your finances. Now, if you are somebody who just kind of puts this off, I want to encourage you to put an actual scheduled time on the calendar. A good 90-minute chunk, one of those power hours is really good here, to take a realistic snapshot of where you are financially. I recommend doing this both for your business and personal. Now, if you are, if it's going to take a full hour and a half for your business, don't try to do both at once. It can become overwhelming. So if you think you can get it done in 90 minutes, look at both, the big picture snapshot. But if you just need to do your business, start with that one first. So what kind of things are we looking for in this snapshot? Number one, we want to have two really clear numbers in mind. The first number is how much do we have coming in on a monthly basis? And the second is how much do we have going out on a monthly basis? Now, these are some very, very basic kind of profit loss statements, but we want to just have an idea of, are we genuinely bringing in enough to cover our expenses? If not, then we need to go and be able to look at our expenses and see where we can trim or look for creative areas that we can bring in more income. So the first thing we want to look at is profit in, or just money in, money out. Now, number two thing that we want to look at are there expenses that we have just kind of fallen into that maybe we really don't need anymore? I've been really guilty of this, where I will sign up for something and I'll use it for a while, but then I just kind of get out of the habit, but I don't cancel the payment. So this can be 30, 60, 100 some dollars a month that's just going out without us even thinking about it. Another thing is making sure you are in the plan you need. So an example of this, in my brick and mortar store, we were paying for Canva Teams and there was just one of us using it. And so I went in and realized, hey, we're paying way too much for this. We just need the professional. We don't need the Teams. So we were able to cut that down by a couple $100. Same thing with your email. Sometimes you'll be paying more than you need for your number of subscribers, and you just need to reach out and let them know, hey, what do I need to do to reduce the amount I'm paying for my email? So be looking at your subscriptions and your payments, and even looking to negotiate. You can negotiate a lot of them, not all of them, but you can negotiate some of them. All right, the final thing we want to look at our snapshot are opportunities to bring in more income. Again, sometimes we just kind of get stuck in this place of, I'm doing the same thing and it's working, but we may be leaving money on the table. If you've been doing something for a while, look at your books, look at your numbers and say, what is the obvious next step that I can offer people? Your easiest ways to bring in additional customer or additional income are with the customers you already have. So instead of trying to go launch something new to a new audience, think about what will make my existing customers who've already purchased from me want from me next. That one question can add quite a bit of money to your bottom line. All right, so we're kind of taking our snapshot here. We're looking at what we have coming in and out. We are looking at possibly trimming down our expenses, and we're also looking for some easy ways to bring in additional income right off the bat. Now, once we have that snapshot, here is where we want to start kind of breathing new life into that. What I recommend doing is looking at everything in your business in terms of percentages. This is what they call your business metrics. Now, if you're not a math person, don't worry. This isn't hard. All we're saying is that if you have this much coming in a month from your snapshot, right? Let's just say let's pick a nice easy number. Let's say you have $5,000 a month coming in. Your percentages, you only have 5,000. The amount that goes out of that, each one is a percentage. When you start to look at your percentages and where they're going, this is where you get to allocate more funds into your paycheck. Now, for some of us, you may have, or for some of you, you may have a large percentage of your income going, or a large percentage of your coming in, your receivables going straight to your income. That's awesome. But if you're not careful, those expenses we talked about can start to eat more and more and more of your percentages. And before you realize it, you're working a lot for a small amount of the pie. So this is where I like to start to get creative on how can we balance those percentages so you're able to take home more. Looking into this, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. It does go into some expense cutting, but it can also go into understanding and having a better appreciation for what are you actually paying out. So example for me, I pay a VA. I am grateful to pay my VA. They're wonderful. And I'm happy to send that money out per month. But I have to watch it because if I'm not careful, at times I will pay my VA a larger chunk of the pie than whatever I'm taking out, depending on my expenses that month. So during the months where you know you have leaner percentages, numbers coming in, you may want to have some conversations with those people you're hiring or with your workers and say, hey, during the summer months, it's a slower time for me. I'm going to need less hours. Can we cut that package back a bit? Now, some are willing to work with you, some are not. But knowing this ahead of time is a huge game changer because you can always trim back things on the months that you know you're not going to be bringing in as much. For some of you, that may be certain times of the year where your business is just not as active, right? It's just not doing as much, or you're taking more time off. You can go ahead and allocate more percentages to be able to go to your paycheck during those times and less to go elsewhere. The profit first method is a really great tool to look at if you're going to utilize this kind of strategy. They lay out everything in percentages. They actually do different bank accounts, which can get a little bit complicated, but you can keep it pretty simple. The profit first system is a great system to look into that if you'd like to be able to kind of think of things in that kind of percentage based profile. There's actually practitioners that can help you with all of that. And the book by Mike Michalowicz is a great resource for you there. All right. The 13th thing to talk about with reviving your finances is to start to lean into what we call quick wins. So there are some things you're going to do in your business that are going to take a lot of time to get a win, right? These are things that, if you're launching a brand new offer and you're building a coaching program or you're writing a book, or some of these things can take months to years to get traction. Well, we're talking about reviving your finances. We're looking for some quick wins that can give you a cash influx without a ton of upfront or long-term work. So if you are a coach, this can look like doing a couple of like quick off packages where you do like a 4-week sprint. It could be a 1-day VIP day. It can be something where you bundle up stuff you have and sell it as a fun little summer, kick off to summer, kick off to fall, kick off to school, whatever bundle where you're getting it straight out into your customers. We just did a really fun little membership drive in our Christian Entrepreneurs Group. And we did a little 2-week, it was a low cost, low ticket 2-week thing, got a bunch of new members, and it really revived the community and brought in a nice chunk of additional income. So if you're in a retail store, they do this a lot with sales, but you can also do it with like 1-day pop-up events. You can do free classes. You can do something like a community partnership event. You can do things where you're bringing more people in for a very short amount of time and generate more sales. A solid little chunk of sales coming in over a short period of time can really make a big difference in your bottom line, especially in the slower seasons. So again, be thinking about ways that you can generate some quick income without having to go and do a great, big, huge project. I know that sounds like easier said than done, but you would be amazed at the number of ways that you can offer something up, make it a really short-term kind of thing, and start to generate some immediate impact in your finances without having to go and build out a 6-month or an 8-month or even a 3-month program or product. So as we're talking about reviving your finances, really getting in being intentional, and pray over it, guys. We have the Holy Spirit leading and guiding us in this adventure. So we need to start it with prayer. We need to start saying, Lord, I'm in a tight spot right now, or things are a little bit tight, or I don't seem to be managing the finances the way that I'd really like to see them being managed. Lord, help me. Lord, show me a partner. If you're looking for some resources, I've got some incredible financial people that I can connect you to that are good, godly people that will lead you on a biblical plan. But the important thing is that you ask the Lord, you take that time to really get a snapshot of your finances. Figure out your percentages. Where are your numbers going? Are your percentages where you want them to be? And then finally, look for some quick wins. Look for some opportunities to breathe some new life into your finances, and start to get that ball rolling so that you are able to keep that momentum moving forward. All right. I pray this episode has been a blessing to you. We are going to be doing an entire summer of on-the-spot coaching inside the Grow Coaching Collective. So if you need more insights on, Cassie, what are some offers I can do? What are some things I can do to get my finances going? What are some of those quick wins you're talking about for my business? Go ahead and hop into the Grow Coaching Collective. You can join us inside our mentorship level or the coaching collective level. And both of those are going to give you access to that hot seat coaching. All right. I look forward to seeing you on another episode, or hopefully inside the Grow Coaching Collective soon. And I hope that you have a wonderful summer if you are listening to this live. And if not, y'all have to let me know, leave me a review, let me know where you are and how things are going in your business. All right. Talk to you soon. Blessings.